All right. Viewers waiting. So I don't know if this is working. So I hope so. What we're going to be doing, if you are jumping on right now, we're going to do a self-hypnosis technique to help you dive deep in your subconscious mind and figure out what fears, what limiting beliefs you have, and then remove them. So do me a favor, guys, if there's anybody here, comment in the chat, because I don't know if this is actually working. Into your software, streaming, start sending us. Okay, let's see. Copy. Settings. Stream. Okay, cool. So there is somebody here. Okay. So give it about 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you guys how to do a self-hypnosis technique to figure out deep-seated fears and limiting beliefs that you're having around any aspect of your life. And so if you want to, chill for a second, and I'm going to send some people from my Instagram here. So hopefully this works. So again, we're going to go through how to release limiting beliefs subconsciously through this self-hypnosis technique. This is bar none, the most powerful technique that I've ever come across, and I've done a lot of personal development. I've done a lot of different work, and this is by far the best one. So, what's up, everybody? So, anybody coming on my live on Instagram, I'm doing a live on YouTube. We're about to get started in a couple minutes. So, if you want to go over there, you can. How do I? You could just click, if you click the link that I pinned here, it'll take you to my YouTube. I'm about to show you guys how to do a self-hypnosis technique to tap into your subconscious mind and remove limiting beliefs. So if you hit that button right there on YouTube, this is, like I was telling them, the most powerful self-hypnosis technique I've ever learned. And I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money learning different techniques with hypnosis and NLP and all that cool stuff. So if you want to learn that, click the YouTube there on where I have it pinned, and it'll take you to my YouTube channel. I'm going to walk you through this. You guys are going to get to experience this for yourself. All right. So we're going to do that in about 2 minutes. So for those of you on YouTube, this is my first time doing it like this. So are you guys still there on the YouTube? So for anybody joining, if you click the link here, it'll send you to my YouTube. We're going to do a self-hypnosis meditation to help you release fears and limiting beliefs that you're having that are holding you back from getting to the next level in whatever aspect of life. So this is the most powerful technique I know, bar none. And so if you jump on now, go there now. Oh, it won't take you? Okay. If it's not taking you, go to Dom the Hypnotist on YouTube, and you'll see my name there. I have maybe 6,000 subscribers or so. That sucks. Yeah, so go to my YouTube, just type in Dom the Hypnotist. All right. So for anybody jumping on late, we're going to do a self-hypnosis meditation on my YouTube channel, and we're going to get started here in a couple moments. All right, is there anybody here still? Are you, Jerry and Suzette, are you guys still there? For anybody jumping on late, if you go to my YouTube channel, Dom the Hypnotist, we're about to do a self-hypnosis meditation to help you release whatever fear or limiting belief or whatever emotions you're holding on to. So go there now. I hope this is working. So go to my YouTube channel, Dom the Hypnotist. All right, guys. So if you've ever want to experience how to go into your own mind and tap into genetic memories from your mom, your dad, your grandparents, whatever, this is the time to do it. Okay, perfect. Some more people here. And do me a favor, when you go to my YouTube channel. We're about to do the self-hypnosis technique to help you. This is going to be mind-blowing. For the most of you who've never experienced something like this before, your mind is going to be altered forever. So go to my YouTube, Dom the Hypnotist. We're going to start in 1 or 2 minutes, and it'll help you out tremendously. I woke up to your hypnosis check. Yeah. So for B Brown, he's talking about how you listen to the hypnosis, you can hear it in English, and after a few days it starts distorting and it sounds like it's in a different language. That's because your subconscious mind is afraid to manifest success. All right, guys, so go to my YouTube channel, Dom the Hypnotist. It's not letting me link the live here for some reason. We're going to do a self-hypnosis technique that is going to completely alter your life, okay? So, oh, there you go. Is that it there? Somebody posted it there. So, hold on one second. Pin. All right, guys, so go to that. Hopefully that link works. And for those of you in YouTube, we're going to start in 1 more minute at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time anyways. And we'll get started here. So for those of you jumping in, I'm going to show you guys how to do a self-hypnosis technique to go into your own mind and release things that are blocking you. Relationship stuff, finance stuff, health stuff, anything. Okay, you just got to click on the link that JS Smoke put on the YouTube, and it'll take you to my live. When you go to the live on YouTube, comment in there so that I know that you guys are there, okay? And we're going to start here in like 30 seconds. I'm going to jump off Instagram. So again, anybody that's showing up right now on Instagram or on YouTube, I'm going to do a step-by-step process of how to release your own limiting beliefs around success, relationship, whatever, it doesn't matter. So jump on there now, click that link that somebody posted here, and I'm going to start here in, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds. So go there now. When you go there, comment in the comment section so I know you guys are there. Oh, it's not clickable? Damn. So go to my YouTube, Dom the Hypnotist. All right, guys, so I got to go. All right. All right, what's going on, everybody? Sweet. So this is like I think I've done a live before, but not in this fashion. I've done it from my phone, so it's a little bit, confusing, but that's okay. I think we got it down. All right, so what we're gonna do, guys, and yeah, comment as you come in, all right? So I'm gonna show you guys how to tap into your own mind and release different fears or limiting beliefs you may have, okay? This could be the belief you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, success has to be hard, you have to struggle to be successful, being afraid you won't be able to handle success, believing that you're not worthy of love, you're not worthy of relationships. There's a myriad of things that we could go through. So first and foremost, always remember, guys, all of our long-term memories are in our subconscious mind. So here's how a limiting belief starts, okay? As an example, let's say you're 3 years old and your parents divorce, right? And as a 3-year-old, you haven't developed your logical brain yet. So you take your parents divorcing as, oh, they divorced because I'm not good enough. And then the seed is planted, okay? And then as you go through your life, more and more and more piles up to where eventually you literally think you're not good enough. Now, most people have no idea why they believe that. It's something that happened to them when they were really young. Now, as you go through your life, that seed that's planted grows into a huge weed until it's so blaring in your face that you finally have to address it, okay? So that's what we're gonna be doing, getting to the root of it. Now, the root of it is either going to be something that happened to you when you're really young. So from the time you're born till about 7 years old. If it's not that, believe it or not, many of our fears, our limiting beliefs, all these things actually start before we're even born. So if your mother was pregnant with you and she had some type of trauma or something she went through, that memory gets passed down to you. And then you will go your whole entire life not realizing that you have this fear or limiting belief. Now, even before you were even conceived, your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, so on and so forth, they can have traumatic experiences. That memory gets trapped in the subconscious, and then it's passed down after generation after generation after generation. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is figuring out where these different limiting beliefs start. Okay, so everybody just go ahead and close your eyes. Now, as we go through this process, you're not going to feel like you're hypnotized, okay? You're just going to feel like most of you will be kind of doubting it, like, I don't know, am I getting the right answer? Is this what it's supposed to be? I don't know. Just be patient. It works. I've done this with thousands of people, many times for each person. So I've literally done this 50,000 times or more. I don't know. And it always works. It's never not worked, okay? So I want you to think of a fear, a limiting belief that you have, and I'll give you guys some common ones. I'm not good enough to do blank, whether it's relationship stuff, work stuff, whatever. Okay, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of love or success. That's a huge one. I don't deserve success. I don't deserve love. You could have the fear of success. And so in other words, you're afraid that if you get a lot of success, you won't be able to handle it. You could have the fear that if you become successful, people will envy you and be jealous, so therefore you'll sabotage your success. You can believe you're not smart enough. There's many different things, okay? So I want you to keep whatever the limiting beliefs that's coming to your mind, it's bubbling up to the surface. Let's start there. Now, the first thing we always have to do before we do any type of releasing is we have to ask permission, okay? Our subconscious mind is 95% of our brain power. The other 5% is our conscious mind. If we don't get the 95% to agree, it won't work. So I want you all to ask yourself in your own head this question, and you're going to get one of three answers. It's either going to be 100% yes, I'm ready, let's do it. It's going to be 100% no, I don't want to do it, or it's going to be unsure. Maybe it's 80%, 90%, 95%, whatever. So you're going to get one of those three answers, and just go with your first initial impression, okay? So you're going to say this to yourself in your head. Subconscious mind, is it okay to release this limiting belief? Say it in your head. Subconscious mind, is it okay to release the belief that blank today and for me to be aware of it consciously? Subconscious mind, is it okay to release the limiting belief of blank today and for me to be aware of it consciously? Now, do me a favor, guys. In the chat, I want you to comment the answer that you got. Did you get a yes? Did you get a no? Is it unsure? Where are you guys at? Comment in the comment section. And hang in there. Look, I know sometimes this stuff can, your monkey brain, your goldfish mind starts going. You start getting distracted. You want to go out to something else. I'm telling you, if you stay another 5 minutes, your mind is going to be blown for the rest of your life, realizing what's going on in your head. So you just got to be patient and stick through. It's obviously a little slow because we're with a group. So do me a favor, guys. Answer in the chat. What was the answer that you got? Yes, yes. Good. What else? Did anybody get no or unsure? Perfect. All right, good. Now, if you guys got a no or it's unsure, you can go through this, but it won't work, but that's okay. I'll help you guys work through it after we release it. So you can go through the process of finding what it is, but when we do it, it won't go away. But I'm going to help you release it after. Now, you can either go through it and find it, or you could just wait and we'll work through it after, okay? Not sure. Okay, so my subconscious has been waiting on me to meet it. They're halfway. Perfect. So now we're going to ask it, where was that seed planted? Okay, was it before birth, during birth, after birth? Now, since this is most of your first times, you might not be sure, okay? And you might hear this, you might hear after, you might hear before, you might go back and forth, back and forth. I want you to go with whichever answer feels the strongest, even if it makes no sense at all, okay? So close your eyes again, and in your head, just say, subconscious mind, what's the root cause of limiting belief? Was it before, during, or after my birth? So again, subconscious mind, what's the root cause of this limiting belief of blank? Was it before, during, or after your birth? Perfect. Now, whatever answer you have, you can open your eyes now. Now, once you get this down, I can let go of stuff in 1 minute. It's just boom, 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 boom. But again, we're all new. So do me a favor, guys. Comment what your answer was. Now, you might not have the event yet. You might think you know the event, and that's fine. We're going to get there here in a minute. So comment what you guys got. Was it before your birth? Was it during your mom's pregnancy? Or was it after your birth? Comment down below. After. Perfect. If I go to sleep, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, you just hang in there a little bit, we'll 3 more minutes, you're gonna find it. During, before. Okay, cool. Now, always remember this as a rule, okay? If it's after your birth, it's always, when I say always, I literally mean 100% of the time, not 99.9, not 9, whatever. You're not going to be the first one that it happened after 7. It's always before the age of 7. Now, sometimes what happens when you say after birth, we have the tendency to go to a recent memory. We go, oh, I started believing I wasn't good enough when 5 years ago, or I deserve to be cheated on, or I deserve to be in pain, or I don't deserve happiness, whatever. It's always before 7. Now, many of you may think, I don't remember anything before 7. I know consciously you don't, but your subconscious mind has every memory you've ever gone through, okay? So that's the rule. If it's after your birth, it's always 7. Now, when we do this in a moment, even if you don't know the event, that's okay. You're only just going to go with the age, all right? Now, if it's during your birth, that would be 9 months is the max there. And then before your birth. Now, here's where this gets a little weird. If it's before your birth, it's going to be your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, right? So 1 generation, 2, 3, 4. Or if you guys have ever had a dream before where the dream was so real, you woke up from the dream, you're like, oh, like a nightmare, right? Well, those dreams can actually affect us subconsciously. So if that's the case, your subconscious mind will perceive what you experienced as a past life, okay? Now, whether you believe in past lives or not, it doesn't matter. It's just a metaphor for something you experienced that didn't actually happen to you or your ancestors and in that dream state, okay? So everybody close your eyes. Now, if it's after your birth, I want you to ask your subconscious mind, if you were to know the very first time I developed this belief, what age was I? Don't worry about the number, or don't worry about the event. Don't try to figure it out yet, guys. It may come, but don't worry about that. I just want you to go with the number. Was it 1? Even if you don't think you remember that age, I promise you. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 6? Is it 7? Go with the lowest number, even if it makes no sense. Okay, so that's after your birth. And for those of you who did after your birth, comment the number that you got. Okay, and if you're having trouble finding the number before 7, guess or make it up. Now, if it's during your birth, ask your subconscious mind, if you were to know the very first time I developed this limiting belief, how many months was I during my birth? And just go with it. Okay, now if it's before your birth, I want you to ask your subconscious mind, was it a past life or was it passed down genetically? Was it a past life or was it passed down genetically? Okay. And if it was a past life, you say, okay, if you were to know, how many lifetimes ago? If it's genetically, you say, if you were to know, how many generations ago? Was it my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents? And just let the answer come to your mind. Now, some of you may already have the event. That's fine. But just go, we're whittling down. It's like a funnel, okay? So everybody open your eyes and post in the comments. So for those of you that got during your birth, type in how many months was it? If you got before your birth, was it a past life or genes? And how many lifetimes ago or how many generations? Now, for those of you after your birth, so like Brian Brown, it says 28, okay? That's your conscious mind. That's your most recent memory. I don't want you to stay stuck in your conscious mind. You have to say subconscious mind, what was the very first time I ever developed the belief of blank? And just go with whatever the first number that pops in your head that's before 7. Even if you're doubting everything I'm telling you and you don't believe it at all, just go with the first number. All right, fuck it. I'll 3, okay? And then it'll come, all right? So 8 months, grandparents. Okay, cool. So now go ahead and close your eyes and we're going to allow it to bubble up to the surface. Now, sometimes it's a specific moment in time, like on this day, this happened. Or sometimes it's just a general understanding of what you were going through or your parents or whatever, a general understanding of what you were going through at that time, okay? So now I just want you guys to kind of lay there and say, okay, subconscious mind, what was causing me to believe blank at 5, at 3, before my birth, during my birth? What was causing my grandparents to feel this way, my parents, the past life stuff after. What was causing? 3 lifetimes ago, I'm literally crying. That's confirmation. Yep, that's right. So just be patient and let it bubble up to the surface. And a lot of times it starts off very broad. You get like a clue. You'll hear train, like train. What the hell is that? And all of a sudden it'll whittle itself down. You're like, oh, damn, whatever happened with the train, whatever. So now, if you have the event, do me a favor, guys, comment that you got the event. And if you're having trouble, I'll help you guys work through it, but just comment if you guys have an understanding. And maybe you're not 100% sure, like, I don't know if this is it, but this is what I'm getting. Comment whenever you have the specific event or the general understanding. And if you're having trouble here, you could just say, subconscious mind, what was causing me to believe blank? At 3 years old, during my mom's pregnancy, what was causing my grandma or my grandpa to feel this way? And then comment when you guys feel like you got it. Okay, perfect. Got it. It was a young marriage. Grandparents, yeah. Cool. There's a lot of trippy stuff that goes on with this. I could tell you guys some crazy stories. Okay, perfect. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road, okay? And pay attention that this is a life lesson that if you understand this concept, life is just going to go so much better for you. I'll give you guys another moment. So for those of you who already got it, just be patient. Brian, if you had to guess, what's the lowest number that comes to your mind? Just tell me the number. Don't overthink it. Just what's the first number? My grandma. Grandma was on the streets in the poorest places in the Philippines. Interesting. Or your mom, sorry. All right. So now here's the important part, okay? I'm getting that my mom felt as if my father wasn't enough, and she looked at me to be the next up or wasn't lucky as him. I wasn't able to give my daughters in my past lives the life I want to provide. Wow, we're getting some good stuff. Okay, so come back to the room, and if you don't have it, we'll work through it still. So Brian, go with 3, okay? So here's what happens. Here's how a limiting belief starts, or a negative emotion. If you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you have anger problems, whatever, okay? All events in life are neutral, which means there's no such thing as a good event and there's no such thing as a bad event. Everything is neutral, okay? The only thing that makes it good or bad is our perspective. So let's take like the most atrocious, horrific thing you could ever imagine, war or something, right? One side thinks, oh, I'm doing a great thing. The other side's like, this is so terrible, this is so bad. So who's right? Neither. It's a neutral event that's happening. It's the perspective of the observer, okay? So here's what happens. When you develop a limiting belief, and you have to remember this forever moving forward, anxiety, depression, anger, blah, 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 blah. A neutral event happens, boom. You decide this is bad because of blank. Oh, I'm not good enough because of my parents, or I'm anxious because of this, or I'm depressed because of that. And you see it in a negative light. So what happens is your subconscious mind attaches negative meanings and limiting beliefs to that event. Now, negative emotions are not bad. Negative emotions and limiting beliefs are a signal to us that there's something we haven't dealt with. There's something going on in our mind that we haven't resolved. So here's what will happen. When you're driving down the street, you're vibing, you're feeling good, cool. And all of a sudden, boom, a thought from 10 years ago comes into your head. Maybe something triggered it, a song, something you see. And all of a sudden you start feeling like shit. You're like, damn, that girl cheated on me 10 years ago. Fuck, man. Right? Or my boss, such and such from the... So here's what's happening. That's your check engine light coming on. As soon as you start to feel negative emotions, you should think check engine light is blinking, blinking, blinking. It's trying to tell you, your subconscious mind is bringing this event to the surface because it's trying to tell you, hey man, we need to let this go. It's time to resolve this. But since we don't know that, what do? We feel terrible. 10 minutes goes by and we kind of put it in the background. Okay. So here's what you got to do. No matter what goes on in life, there's always a silver lining. There's always a lesson. Okay. Now I've worked with people who have had the most horrific things you could possibly imagine happen to them. And I'm not going to say it on here, but you can think of whatever you want with that. Okay. And you might initially think, oh, that's bad. There's nothing. How could anybody ever take a lesson from that? There's a lot of lessons from horrific things happening to people. One being that they're tough. They're strong. To be able to make it through some of the things that people go through, they don't realize, damn, I'm a warrior. I made it through that, and I'm still going through life. I'm still trugging along, even though X happened to me when I was 3 or 4 or 5, right? It also teaches you compassion, how to treat people, how to love people, how to respect people. Because of the horrific stuff that they went through, now they can use that and they can turn that negativity into light, into positivity, into love, okay? So there's always a silver lining. So here's how we release this, okay, guys? What you're going to do in a moment, you're going to look at whatever's happening to you from a third-person perspective, like this, okay? Like you're watching yourself or your grandma or or who your mom or your dad. And then you're going to look at, okay, yeah, this thing happened. Maybe it sucked at the time, but what did I learn from that? What are the positive lessons? Now, this is important. A positive lesson isn't don't trust women ever again. No. That's not a positive lesson. A positive lesson is, hey, trust my intuition. How about have a better way of screening people when they come into my life? Making sure I surround myself with positive people. That's how you frame things positively. So as soon as you start saying don't, that's a negative lesson. Always positive silver linings, okay? Once you're looking at it like this and we take the lessons, all of a sudden you're going to feel this, just like negative energies leaving the body, okay? And then I'm going to tell you guys that's the next step. So everybody close your eyes, go back to the event, and I want you to pull yourself out of it. Look at it from a third person, like you're viewing it happening. You're no longer in it, you're outside of it. And I want you to ask your subconscious mind, what positive lessons can I take from this event that will allow me to let go of limiting belief? Subconscious mind, what positive lessons can I take from this event that will allow me to let go of limiting belief? And I want you to sit there and make sure, I'm going to give you guys a moment of silence, make sure everything is framed in the positive. Everything is framed in the positive. It can't be, don't worry about what other people think of me. No. That's a negative learning. The learning in that situation would be, do what makes me happy. Do what's right for me, right? So frame it all positively. And then once you guys have you feel like you've exhausted, okay, I got the lessons. I want you to come back and comment in the chat. Take your time. Now after this is the fun part. Comment in the chat once you have all the lessons. You don't have to necessarily post your positive lessons. Just say, got it. Positive lesson I took from the event was that I have another chance for change, certain event in this current lifetime. Perfect. So comment like, yes, got the lesson. There you go. I can make something out of nothing if I can put my mind to it. Love myself, free myself from negativity. Nope. Love myself and create positivity and open up. Yeah, that's good. Open up to new horizons. That's good. It's not my fault. You got to say that positively. That's a negative lesson, right? So you would say like forgiveness, forgive yourself, moving forward. That makes sense because not is a negative, right? All right, good. So now this is the cool part. Well, all of it's pretty cool. So you're going to go back, close your eyes. You're going to go back to this event and you're going to look at yourself from that third person perspective. Now, if you still feel bad about it, what you have to do is you have to imagine that that event is going away from you. Like you're pushing it away as far as you can possibly imagine until you feel all the feelings release. So just throw it as far away as you possibly can until you feel no feelings, okay? Then, once it's all gone, you go down into the event, seeing it through your own eyes, like you're reliving it again. And then if you still feel it, you got to float out, see yourself from a third person, go back down in, and then keep floating out. Third person, first person, seeing yourself outside, seeing it through your own eyes. And once it's all gone, inside and when you're out, what you're going to do is you're going to begin to make your way back throughout your lifetime, all the way back to now, only as quickly as you can let go of all the events that are causing you to believe this, all the way back to now. As you come across each event, you're going to look at yourself from the third person, preserve the positive learnings, and let go of all the events all the way back to now. So we're going to resolve all the bullshit that happened to you growing up, high school, middle school, adulthood, all that stuff. Ignore the dog in the background. Okay. So allow your subconscious mind to let go of all the events throughout your lifetime, all the way back to now. And let me know once you guys have let everything go, you comment in the comment section. Yeah, let all those go. Cutler. So if you have a lot of traumatic events with girlfriends, there's some deep subconscious limiting beliefs that are creating this scenario. And it sounds like your subconscious mind probably wasn't 100% okay to let it go. So once you zoom in and zoom out, everything's gone, release all the events in your subconscious mind that are connecting you to this lesson or to this negative learning, a limiting belief, and then release it all the way back to now. And you're just going to get a flood of memories. You're going to be like, oh, damn, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was still bothering me. You're just going to release all that stuff all the way back to now. And then once you guys come back to now, comment and we'll do some Q&A. Feeling not good enough. Yeah, so your subconscious mind is probably, was it 100% okay to let go of that belief? Cutler? Was it okay to let go of that belief? Oh, I can comment here. Okay, cool. I can comment on my cell phone rather than my computer. All right, guys. So now, for those of you that this worked for, obviously this isn't a group, so it's a little harder when there's more people. But when you think about that belief, is it there or is it gone now? And comment in the comment section like, hey, yeah, it went away. Or no, I'm still feeling it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, go back and rewatch it a few times and you'll get it down. Wow, feeling relief. Yeah, that's right, Candy. When you do it the right way, and again, look, don't beat yourself up if you feel like you didn't release it this year. You don't, most people don't know how to do this stuff. It's a first time like experience. So there's nothing wrong with you. You're not like, it's just everybody's a little bit different on the learning curve with this stuff. Some people, they're very fast, it's quick, boom. Some it takes a little more time. So I think it's gone. Well, ask yourself, do I still believe blank? I'm not sleepy anymore. Yep, there you go. Your mind almost sabotage you, Lozeb. That's a very common thing. When you're about to self-sabotage, people go to sleep. Cool. So I'll leave some time open for some Q&A. Free from it. Wow. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. So by the way, guys, so if any of you, so I primarily work with people like our business owners, they're in sales and things like that. And we help you break through fears and limiting beliefs around success. Okay. So a lot of people, actually, I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I told this on my Instagram yesterday, but I'll tell you again. This is if you guys listen to what I'm about to tell you, your entire paradigm will be shifted forever. And actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Suzette, are you in the Money Magnetism program? This is the same Suzette, right? The nurse? You're a nurse, right? Suzette, you there? So if this is the same person I'm thinking it is, I don't feel that I'm not worthy of success anymore. Boom. There you go. So check this out, guys. This is freaking mind-boggling. I've never seen a ghost before, but I could imagine if I saw a ghost for the first time, it would be like what I'm about to tell you. And Suzette can back me up on this, okay? So in the NFL season of 2021, one of my clients, he's a professional football player. I started working with him in the beginning of the season. And about halfway through the season, he was a bench player and he finally got his first start. Okay. And, every week they have to learn the playbook of the new team. So they're constantly doing plays and constantly doing analysis. And this week, because my client was going to start, he's like, Dom, this is my first start. I'm nervous. Like, whatever, if there's anything extra you can do, this is the time to do it. So I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a hypnosis for you. And we're going to put the plays in a hypnosis recording. And then I want you to loop it throughout the night and just listen to it 8 hours a night. Okay. Now, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if this was going to work. I just figured like, it can't hurt. So let's just see what happens. Okay. So he listened to it Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Sunday night, he went out and played. Well, I talked to him after the game, and this is what he said. He said, Dom, I've never in my entire career, high school, college, pros, I've never been more in tune with what the other team was going to do. It's like he knew exactly every single play. And he goes, it's because I was essentially brainwashing myself with the hypnosis. So I heard the plays of their team over and over and over hundreds of times. So I thought, okay, maybe there's something to this sleep hypnosis thing. Now, if I'm being honest, I was already 3 years in my career as a hypnotist. I never listened to sleep hypnosis because I thought like, how does this even help you while you're sleeping? You're not you can't hear it. How does it work? Like, whatever. But after he said that, I was like, well, shit, man, maybe there's something to this. So I found a sleep hypnosis, like a week or two later, I was like, all right, let me do this for myself. So I found a sleep hypnosis and it was all about manifesting abundance, large sums of money, all that cool stuff, right? So I start listening to it on a Tuesday. And by Sunday, we had our biggest week ever, the most clients we've ever signed up by 50%. Okay. Now this was great. I was like, damn, that shit worked, And I was like, did it work? Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. But people were coming out of the woodworks. But there was a problem. And the problem is that I'm only one person. Now I have a team of other therapists that take on clients and stuff. But at the time, it was just me. And so yeah, it was great. I had 50% bump in my income, but I also had 50% more work. Okay. So I actually had to stop listening to it because it was working too effectively. Like, dude, I can't do this. I can't keep going like this. So I don't know, a month or two goes by and I'm like, man, you know what? I should create it. Now, this is fascinating, guys. I'm telling you, if you listen, if you're still here, this is going to change your paradigm forever. If you haven't heard this story, I said, I'm going to create my own sleep hypnosis that's similar to that, but I'm going to make sure it's around passive money, opportunities that flow that I don't have to work a whole bunch more extra hours. Okay. So I created this sleep hypnosis. Boom. I put it onto my YouTube channel. I start giving it to my clients. I start giving it to my Instagram followers. Okay. Within a couple of days, I got great feedback. People were telling me, dude, I'm getting clients out of nowhere. This never happens to me, blah, blah, blah. You know, people were getting raises at their job, just all kinds of cool stuff. And then I was getting not so good feedback. And other people were telling me that they couldn't understand the recording, that the file was corrupted. It sounded like it was in a different language and blah, 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 blah. So I just thought like, all right, maybe their phone's wrong, something wrong with their phone. They need to update it. I don't know. So I didn't think anything of it. Well, some months passed and I decided to start giving this to every single one of my new clients. Because like I said, I work with business owners, salespeople, people like that. And most people want to make more money if they own a business or they're in sales. So start giving it to everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing. People are saying it's great. And then I had a client who was listening to it for 3, 4, 5 days. She could hear it perfectly fine. And on the 4th day or whatever, she texts me and she's like, Dom, I don't know what's going on. I think the recording's broken, but your voice, it sounds like you're speaking in a different language. Sounds like you're speaking Latin. I'm like, oh, you know what? I've heard this before, whatever. Send me a screen recording and let me hear it. So she records her screen, sends it to me. It's working fine, right? So an hour, 15 minutes, an hour goes by and she texts me back and she goes, Dom, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I went into the other room. I showed my partner this video and I said, hey, can you understand what this guy is saying? And she could hear it perfectly fine, but I can't. So here's 2 human beings. They're in the same exact room. They both understand English. One can understand the recording and the other one, she could understand it a couple of days before that, but then she couldn't understand it all of a sudden. Okay. Now my response to that was like, what? I was like mind blown. Like what the fuck is going on? So then I'm like, okay, we'll deal with that on our session. So a week later, we hop on the call and I got to see this for myself. I'm like, you got to see it to believe it. So I pull up my Zoom, I share my screen, and sure enough, I play it. I can hear it perfectly fine, and she can't. It literally sounds like it's in Latin. So I didn't really know what to do. Nobody ever trained me on this specific scenario. I didn't know this was a thing, but I just went with my intuition. I'm like, okay, there's got to be some fears, some blocks that's creating this. So we do my thing. And I ask her, we ask like, why are you not letting me hear this part and this part and this part and this part? And what ended up happening was she had a fear that if she became successful, she would be arrogant and cocky. So she was like blocking that from happening. She also had a fear that her family would be jealous and envy her. So she was afraid of that. She had a fear that she couldn't handle multiple sources of income. So she was blocking that. She also had a fear that if she became successful, she wouldn't be happy. Okay. So once we brought all these limiting beliefs to the surface, we just did what the exercise did with you guys. One by one, we cleared out. 45 minutes later, I hop on the call, 45 minutes later, I turn the music back or the audio back on, and she can hear it perfectly fine. Okay. Now I do a group session every Monday night with all my clients and the other therapists that work for me. We all get together and I told everybody this story and a bunch of other people like, hey dude, the same thing happened to me. I just thought I was, something, I don't know. I always thought something was wrong with it, whatever. And then after that, one by one, I started working with a bunch of people. Now here's another crazy thing. I taught everybody how to create their own affirmation. And if you guys want to do this, I highly recommend it. There's this app. It's called the Parrot app. Okay. It looks like this. It's a pink app. It's right there. The Parrot app. Okay. And what you do is you create an affirmation or multiple affirmations, and then you can play it and it'll just infinitely loop over and over and over and over and over. So I told everybody, hey, create an affirmation, blah, blah, blah. And people created their own affirmations. Well, the very next week after this, people were saying, Dom, I can't understand my own voice. Like, they created it themselves and they went back and listened to it and they can't understand their own voice. Not even mine, theirs. And it was the same thing. It was fears and limiting beliefs. So here's what happens, guys. I want you to think of limiting beliefs are like a filter. And I'm going to answer your question here, Cutler. I thought the file was corrupt. So Suzette went through this, and Suzette actually went through the money magnetism program, and like a week later got $2,000 out of nowhere. Boom, just her boss gave her a bonus or something. And here's what happens. Limiting beliefs and fears are like a filter, okay? Think of it like an aperture on a camera. So I can see everything here, and there's all these possibilities of a reality that I could create. More success, better relationships, love, a healthy body. But because of these limitations, I can only see what's here. As you peel back each layer, boom, like we just did one tonight, and you do more, and you do more, and you do more, all of a sudden, everything that was always there, the abundance, the love of your life, the body of your dreams, the healthy body, everything is there, but these filters are blocking it. And then when you have a fear or limiting belief, now your mind will literally not allow you to hear it. So think of what you guys could potentially be blocking, whether it's your business, your relationships, your health. How many things are right in front of your face and you just can't see it? It's right there, the answer. But because you have this block, it's blinding you to it. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? Okay, so how do I call you for help? I was a D2 swimmer. Now I'm an alcoholic, stoner, working at home with my folks, buying a house. Anything I can do before I do this. I was in the best shape ever. I found either money or being in shape. I find it's either money. What do you mean by that? I find it's either money or being in shape. What is your fear? And guys, feel free to ask questions if you have any questions. What's your fear? So actually, I'm gonna drop something here in the comments. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, everything's in front of me, but I can't reach it, it seems like. I've definitely been there before. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. For any of you, if any of you want to book a consultation with, I don't do my own consultations. I'm like so booked up I just don't have time to do the initial intake call. But if any of you want to book an initial consultation, this one here, with someone on my team. Now, my team members are certified hypnotherapists. So what we do on the consultation, we take you through like an intake process. We ask your subconscious mind all these questions. We bring a lot to the surface, and then we figure out, okay, what do we need to do moving forward? How do we handle this, right? And like I said, you can work with me. You can work with somebody on my team. And then I even have a group where we do the money magnetism program. If that's something that you guys like to do, that's super affordable. It's literally $199 a month for 5 months, but you get access to the program right away. Every Wednesday night, we do a group session to help you guys work through it. So that's, if you want to book a consultation, I put the link there. I don't know if I can pin this, but what the hell? How do I pin that? I don't know if I can pin it. Maybe not. Oh, pin message. There we go. Okay, so I'm out of shape. Everything in front of me. Duality. When I have more money, I'm less in shape. There we go. So that's a huge limiting. I was just talking about this yesterday on my live, I think. It was yesterday. A lot of people think in either or. You can have both. But again, that's a limiting belief. A lot of you ever see a super successful guy and he's just overweight? No offense to anybody, but why? Because he believes that if I can't take a time away from work, and if I do, I'm going to lose money, so they'll sabotage their body. Now, there's some dudes that are in jack, shredded, six-pack abs, but they can't rub two nickels together because they believe that, Again, similar thing, but the opposite. The highest form is I can have everything. I can have the love of my life. I can have the body of my dreams, and I can have all the money in the world. That's what we want to tap into. Either or is scarcity. All is abundance. Relationships, I get triggered by her answers or no answers. I think it should go one way, but getting the opposite. I'm not sure what's your question there. Guys, I ask some questions. I'm gonna stay on for a couple more minutes. Yeah, so it's definitely something in your subconscious. Anytime you get triggered by something, that should, remember, your check engine light's going, boom, hey, something you got to let go of. I don't know what it is. We'd have to like dive deep into that. But yeah, it's definitely anytime you get triggered by something, there's something deep in there. And here's the crazy thing. I've had people that have enraging jealousy, and they go through, they release it, and they're just like, I don't care anymore. I used to be violent to other people. Now, I've never stabbed anybody or shot anybody or anything. I used to have just a really bad temper. And I used to get in fights all the time and crazy arguments and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm so peaceful and calm. I don't give a shit about that. Like, you'd really have to rile me up to get me to want to physically hurt you. It doesn't even exist in my reality anymore. But before, constant, all the time, physical altercations and you guys want to know what it was? I believed that the way that I showed my worth was by doing that. Like, I had to prove to my friends that I was a worthy friend by showing them that I can physically like hurt people, which is ridiculous. Like, I didn't know it at the time, but it was like, I'm not good enough. So this is how I show that I'm good enough. So interesting, right? It's like, I have this idea of how it should go. I appreciate it. Recent heartbreak. Yeah. Heartbreaks, some, losing a relationship breakups can be harder than, losing a family member sometimes, those will burn you up inside. All right, guys. Any last questions? Going once, going twice. Yeah, you got to go back, find the root, and let it go. Man, I could tell you guys some stories that would blow your mind, and you'd be like, what? No way. That doesn't make sense, but it does. I was verbally abused growing up, so I'm defensive, and I want to let go of it so bad. So go into your subconscious. How long are the session? 1 hour. Yeah. Guys, if you guys understood what's on the other side of 6 hours of your life, you would give everything you have to experience it. You would go, fuck, if I can have that. I just had a lady the other day who literally couldn't afford $200 to sign up for the money magnetism program. Maybe 5-6 weeks ago. She was saying Christmas and this and that, whatever. Today, she just messaged me, oh my God, Dom, you're not going to believe this. I have a real estate license. I don't even sell real estate. I've just had it for years. And I just closed a deal yesterday that's going to pay me $20,000 in April. Now, this lady a month ago could barely afford $200. And in a matter of weeks, her entire paradigm has changed. I've had people 5x their income in 1 month, literally go from one of my clients. He signed up one time and then we did a testimonial, and this almost brought me to tears, man. I was like, tears of like, I don't know, it was weird, but we're talking and he's like, I was like, man, it's crazy because I remember you could barely even afford to sign up. We had to do like a payment plan for you. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, Dom, I gave you everything I had. And I was like, damn, dude, like you trusted me that much to give everything you had. But guess what? 1 month, the guy's making $6,000, $7,000. The very next month, he made $27,000. So he didn't care. He's like, I'd give you everything I have again if I needed to. He don't give a shit. So cool. All right, guys, anything else? Take 1 or 2 more questions, and I got to go hang out with the fam. I hope this has been helpful. You can go back. I'll post this. You can go back, rewatch it. And if you can just dial in that one exercise we did and just figure it out, you just, your aperture, your filter goes like this, and it goes, you know, not that long ago, I was broke as shit, angry at the world, all that shit. And now I live a life of abundance, and it's the best feeling in the world. And it's just on the other side of that, of finding out, opening up that lens to everything that's all around you, all the abundance that's there. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here tonight. It was fun talking with you guys. I got a $20 super chat or something. That's the first time that's ever happened. That's pretty cool. So thank you for that. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't like I jumped on here to make a couple bucks, but that's cool. All right. Yeah, I think I'll figure out how to do it. I don't know what's going to happen after this, but I think it'll go up, so you guys can watch it later. And interact with me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go Dom the Hypnotist. Please subscribe to my YouTube if you're not subscribed already. That would be great. And then like my videos, comment on them, interact with me. I love to interact with people on my social media, so definitely do that. All right, guys? One last thing. Please, I'll rewatch what you're saying because I missed the beginning. I'm going to be a student of hypnotherapy end of February. Is there some advice you can give me? Yeah, practice. Practice is where it's at. That's the most important part. Find all your friends and family who are willing to let you practice on them and just practice and get good at it. And that's all it takes, just a lot of practice. Yeah, sometimes it takes to just talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. It goes up immediately when you end it. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Love you all. Have a good night.